Gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever stood across from a woman, heart racing, conversation flowing, only to leave wondering, was there something more there? Or was it all in my head? You saw it in her eyes, a flicker of something. You felt it in her laugh, genuine, unguarded. But when it came time for clarity, she pulled back. Retreat, silence, distance. Sound familiar? That, my friends, is the riddle of emotional attachment wrapped in fear. She finds subtle ways to be around you. When someone has developed feelings but is afraid to express them, they'll often find non-obvious ways to stay close. This could look like sending you funny videos, asking questions they already know the answer to, or finding reasons to be where you are. It's not a direct declaration of affection, but it's a behavioral breadcrumb. She might fear coming off as too forward or being rejected, so she chooses low-risk ways to remain in your orbit, hoping you notice without her having to say it out loud. She remembers the smallest details about you. When someone is emotionally invested, their brain starts tuning into the things that matter to you, even if you don't emphasize them. She'll recall the way you take your coffee, the show you binge-watched last month, or how you reacted to a tough moment. These little acts of memory are not random. They're signals of care. Remembering details is a form of quiet emotional intimacy. It reveals her focus is on you, even when she's pretending it isn't. She becomes emotionally cautious when the conversation gets deep. A woman who's already attached but scared will often be chatty and open until the topic hits a nerve. If you bring up relationships, commitment, or emotional vulnerability, she might retreat, laugh it off, or change the subject. This isn't disinterest. It's defense. Fear of getting hurt, past trauma, or uncertainty about your feelings can make her hesitant to expose hers. Ironically, this hesitation can be the very clue that she is feeling something deeper. She supports you in quiet, consistent ways. Whether you're celebrating a win or facing a setback, she's there, not loudly, but meaningfully. She encourages your goals, checks in on your well-being, and believes in your potential. These actions go beyond polite friendliness. They're born from attachment. Someone who's emotionally connected will want to see you succeed and be happy, not just because it's nice, but because your happiness affects hers. She shows signs of jealousy, but doesn't admit it. If another woman is mentioned or appears close to you, her energy shifts. It might be subtle, a moment of silence, a change in expression, or a sarcastic comment. She won't say, "I'm jealous," because doing so would require revealing feelings she's not ready to confess. But that tiny flicker of discomfort when your attention is elsewhere is an unintentional confession. She cares. She's waiting for safety before she opens up. At the core of her silence is not a lack of emotion, but a lack of safety. She may fear rejection, judgment, or the vulnerability that comes with expressing real feelings. Many people have been taught, by experience or culture, that opening up first is risky. So she waits, watches, tests your consistency. If she senses that your interest is genuine and that you won't use her emotions against her, only then might she start to share her own. So what do you do when you see these signs? You don't push. You invite. You don't pressure. You listen. You give her the space to feel safe enough to admit what her heart already knows. Because love, real love, isn't always loud. These signs aren't always loud or obvious. In fact, the more emotionally guarded someone is, the quieter their signals tend to be. But if you pay attention not just to what she says, but how she behaves, you may discover that her heart has already made its move. All that remains is for trust to catch up. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it hides, but when it's real, it's always worth discovering. So if you're seeing the signs, don't ignore them. She may be scared to show it, but her heart has already started to speak.